Good evening and welcome to the Weekly Voice, presented by VNN, bringing you today's top 10 Canadian news stories on August 22nd, 2025. Let's get started. Navjeet Singh, a 25-year-old from Brampton, was arrested at Toronto Pearson International Airport after more than 9 months on the run. Singh was wanted in connection with a fatal crash in Manitoba in November 2024 that claimed the lives of 35-year-old Sarah Unger and her 8-year-old daughter Alexa. According to RCMP, Singh had been driving a semi-trailer truck that failed to stop at a stop sign on Highway 201 near Altona, striking an SUV carrying the mother and daughter. After being hospitalized, Singh disappeared, prompting a Canada-wide warrant. His return to Canada on an Ethiopian Airlines flight Thursday morning gave authorities their opportunity. Coordinated efforts between Peel Police, the Canada Border Services Agency, and Manitoba RCMP led to his arrest. Singh now faces multiple charges, including 2 counts of dangerous operation of a motor vehicle causing death, and will soon be transferred to Manitoba to face trial. Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow is sounding the alarm on a $107 million shortfall in the city's budget after Ottawa announced it would only fund about 26% of the costs to house refugees and asylum seekers in 2025. Chow explained that the city has already spent most of its allocated funds to shelter over 3,500 refugees, who now make up roughly 40% of all shelter occupants. Without full federal support, she warns the city might need to consider a property tax hike of around 2% or risk reducing critical shelter services. Chow emphasized that housing refugees is a federal responsibility and that Toronto cannot bear this financial strain alone. City officials have expressed concerns that this funding gap could result in the loss of nearly 1,800 beds across the shelter system, potentially prolonging stays for those awaiting permanent housing. Federal officials maintain that demand for the Interim Housing Assistance Program exceeded available funding, but note that the program has already provided $1.5 billion to municipalities since 2017, with $670 million directed to Toronto. Living with chronic myeloid leukemia, CML, has dramatically changed in the past decade. Once a disease that left patients with few options and uncertain futures, advancements in targeted therapies have shifted the narrative from survival to thriving. Weekly Voice spoke to Lisa Machado, founder of the Canadian CML Network, who was diagnosed in 2008. She shared how the diagnosis inspired her to create a platform for patients to connect, find trusted information, and advocate for better care. Dr. Dennis Kim, a senior hematologist at Princess Margaret Cancer Centre, explained that new drugs such as asciminib have allowed for more personalized treatment plans with fewer side effects and better long-term outcomes. Both Machado and Dr. Kim highlighted the importance of communication between patients and doctors, stressing that care today is about partnership and quality of life, not just longevity. Looking ahead, ongoing research is focusing on even more targeted treatments that minimize toxicity, providing hope for a future where CML becomes an even more manageable chronic condition. The closure of iPro Realty by the Real Estate Council of Ontario, RECO, has sent shockwaves through Ontario's real estate industry. RECO announced the shutdown on August 19th after discovering a significant shortfall, initially estimated at $10.5 million, in the company's trust accounts during a routine audit. Although the discrepancy has been reduced to under $8 million, the risk to consumers and agents remained too high for operations to continue. The closure affects approximately 2,400 agents and 17 office locations across the Greater Toronto Area and Southern Ontario, including major hubs in Toronto, Brampton, and Mississauga. Clients with ongoing transactions are being urged to contact their agents for guidance, while those owed commissions have been advised to file insurance claims. RECO is assisting agents in transferring to other brokerages to minimize disruption. This high-profile case serves as a reminder of the importance of strict compliance with financial regulations to protect both consumers and industry professionals. Peel Regional Police have made significant progress in the investigation of a brazen shooting at Chinguacousy Park earlier this month. The August 4th incident left 3 teenagers aged 16 to 18 injured after multiple shots were fired during a busy evening at the park. Officers on foot patrol responded immediately, securing the scene and assisting victims until paramedics arrived. 2 of the victims suffered serious injuries but are now stable, while the third sustained minor wounds. On August 19th, police arrested 18-year-old Malik Sahid and a 17-year-old youth, charging them with multiple offenses, including attempted murder, aggravated assault, and numerous firearms violations. Police officials described the shooting as completely unacceptable and praised both the swift investigative work and the courage of officers who ran toward danger to protect the public. Authorities continue to encourage anyone with additional information to contact investigators or Peel Crime Stoppers to aid in the ongoing case. Google has officially rolled out the Pixel 10 series in Canada, giving tech enthusiasts a reason to celebrate. The lineup includes the Pixel 10, Pixel 10 Pro, Pixel 10 Pro XL, and the innovative Pixel 10 Pro Fold, which combines dual screens with portability for power users. The Pixel 10 Pro and Pro XL models boast the new Tensor G5 chip and up to 16 gigabytes of RAM, making them some of the fastest smartphones on the market. Photography lovers will appreciate features like 100x zoom, night sight video, and 8K recording. Beyond hardware, Google is offering generous launch promotions, including up to $500 in trade-in credit and $275 in Google Store credit for purchases made by September 4th. Each phone also comes with a complimentary 1-year subscription to Google AI Pro, providing premium AI-powered tools across Google's suite of apps. With 7 years of regular updates, the Pixel 10 series is built to stay ahead of the curve, cementing its position as one of the most compelling upgrades of 2025. The Toronto condo market is seeing a rare shift, creating opportunities for buyers who have been waiting on the sidelines. After years of soaring prices and bidding wars, an influx of new inventory, softened interest rates, and reduced investor activity have brought prices to their lowest levels in 4 years. In July 2025, the average condo price in the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area fell to $651,000, levels not seen since 2019. For first-time buyers, the market now offers more choice and less competition, with opportunities to negotiate favorable deals. Experts caution, however, that buyers should conduct thorough research and work with experienced agents to secure properties with strong long-term value. Investors are also eyeing this moment, as lower entry costs and flexible mortgage terms could lead to significant returns once the market stabilizes. Analysts expect the soft conditions to last through the end of 2025, after which a more balanced, sustainable market is likely to emerge. Canada is expanding options for immigration applicants by adding TOEFL Essentials as an approved English proficiency test for permanent residency applications. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, confirmed that the Educational Testing Service, which administers TOEFL, has been recognized as a designated testing organization. Although the test is not yet accepted for current applications, IRCC will update its guidelines soon with information on test availability and locations. TOEFL Essentials is a shorter, 1.5-hour exam designed to assess practical communication skills in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Instant results are available for some sections, with full score reports delivered within 6 days. This edition provides applicants with a 4th language test option, alongside CELPIP, IELTS, and Pearson PTE, making it easier for candidates to meet language requirements for programs such as Express Entry and provincial nominee programs. Ontario Premier Doug Ford is ramping up pressure on the federal government to secure relief for industries heavily impacted by ongoing U.S. tariffs. Following Ottawa's decision to remove counter-tariffs on some American goods, Ford warned that sectors like steel, auto, forestry, and copper are still struggling and need stronger federal support. He called for policies that prioritize the use of Canadian materials in domestic projects to protect jobs and stabilize local economies. Ford also urged Ottawa to adopt a tougher stance in negotiations with Washington to ensure Canadian industries are not left at a disadvantage. With trade tensions continuing to rise, Ford emphasized the need for a long-term strategy that strengthens domestic production while balancing the demands of cross-border trade relationships. His comments add urgency to ongoing discussions that could shape the future of Canada's economic resilience. Prime Minister Mark Carney's first 100 days in office have been marked by a combination of achievements and challenges. On the trade front, Carney has managed to ease tensions with some international partners and roll back select tariffs, but key disputes with the United States remain unresolved, leaving industries like steel and auto under pressure. Domestically, his government passed the One Canadian Economy Act, aimed at reducing internal trade barriers and accelerating major projects, though the legislation has faced criticism from Indigenous communities for not adequately addressing their concerns. Carney's ambitious housing plan, Build Canada Home, is still in its planning stages, with developers urging greater collaboration. In foreign affairs, Carney has committed to significant defense spending increases, pledging to reach 5% of GDP by 2035. A move praised by some allies but criticized by fiscal hawks. As the fall budget approaches, analysts say the coming months will test the government's ability to turn early momentum into meaningful, lasting results without overextending Canada's financial resources. That's all for today's top stories. Thank you for joining us on The Weekly Voice, presented by VNN. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time.